Welcome back to Tesla. We're renaming the channel Teslamonial. Right now I'm here with my wife, Hayari, and we're going to talk about our 4-month review. So we ordered our Tesla Model Y Juniper in June, I believe, right? So it's been about 4 months. We've put on about 4,000 miles. Almost all of those miles have exclusively been FSD driven. So we're going to just kind of talk about what we like, what we don't like. This is our first EV vehicle. We've only had ICE. We've only had internal combustion engine cars. Her previous car was a 2020 BMW X3 M40i, which was a lot of fun.
Yes, I loved it.
And I still have an Infiniti G37 drift car and a Ford F-150 pickup truck. But we've kind of, a kind of quick synopsis right to the very end is this is our favorite car. This thing is awesome. But let's get into the questions. How does the performance of this car compare to your BMW? Because the BMW was quite the performance car. So accelerations, braking, handling, how do you feel this car compares to the BMW?
I don't know because I don't drive it.
That's true. The BMW physically had to drive all the time, and 99.9% of the miles, I'll turn FSD on in my driveway or in my garage, so I keep it simple. So I know with a few times we have driven it, it feels the same. And even when you look up the specs, because the M40i X3 is a straight six twin turbo at 400 horse, 400 torque, fun toy. And this thing has about the same quarter mile, same 0 to 60. So it is the same. They're similar, I should say.
The handling of it is the same. The speed of it is the same.
This car feels smoother, doesn't it? Or is it, maybe it's in my head.
It feels smoother because I'm not driving.
Right.
It's FSD.
It could just be the ease of...
But you remember that time when I took it off FSD because I wanted to actually drive the car and feel the car?
Yeah.
And you asked me, why does FSD suck so bad? I'm like, that's me driving. I was more heavy on my foot than FSD is.
Well, heavy on the foot, heavy on the braking. I'm just so used to the ease flowing, and usually I drive, but you were driving, and I don't remember if I was in the back seat and I couldn't see you.
Yes, yeah.
So I couldn't see that she was steering, and
yes.
It just like I started getting almost motion sickness. I'm like, what is going on? FSD has gone off the rails, and
yes.
I found out my wife had gone off the rails.
Yes, and you get car sick really easily, and FSD doesn't make him sick.
That's primarily why I drive, no matter where in the world I am, whatever car, no matter who I'm with, I primarily drive because I get motion sickness pretty easily.
Yeah.
But you're right. Even if I'm a passenger with FSD, I personally, even in the front and the back, wherever, I haven't gotten motion sickness. So I think that's a credit to the smoothness of FSD.
Yeah, this one compared to my BMW definitely is a lot smoother because I'm not driving.
It's true.
Basically, yeah.
But kind of jumping through a few other facts for the car right now. Like cost-wise, this is actually a lot cheaper than the BMW X3 M40i, because this, if you don't include the tax rebate, was like $55,000. The X3 M40i was like $84,000. It was a lot of money.
It was very expensive.
Something like that. And then with the rebate on this thing, it drops you way down to 45 or something like that. We paid around 45, 46, 47.
47, I think it was the full total. That's not including registering the car, though.
Right. Which, I mean, I knew it was coming because we live in Wisconsin and there's no dealerships in Wisconsin, which is a whole separate video. But we bought the car, we went to Illinois, picked it up and drove it back. And when we picked it up, there's no sales tax, there's no nothing.
Yeah.
It took a couple weeks to get the actual paperwork.
Just a week.
1 week.
Yeah.
1 week to get the paperwork, to get the title and everything. They do give you a template, which is stuck in the back window. They tape it in there when you pick it up so you don't have to worry about getting pulled over and driving or whatever. But once we got that, I had to take it to the DMV and I needed help. What do we owe you?
Oh, yeah.
And
that was the easiest registration I've ever done. You just hand them the paperwork. It's already been done by Tesla.
Give them the packet. How much do I owe you?
Correct.
And, you know, because you're paying tax on a brand new car, it's thousands. So it's pretty hefty. I forgot if it was $3 grand, $4 grand.
I think it's about $3 grand.
Yeah. And then tax titles and, well, other stuff. But the car is an amazing bang for buck. It's comfortable. It's got performance. We love the technology for it. So for the price that you pay with registration and everything else, it's pretty awesome.
Yes, it's worth it.
Next thing we could talk about could be the tech. Again, if we want to compare the two cars, the BMW was luxurious. It was very comfortable. It had great performance. It had like lane assist, but it wasn't anything like what new cars. I mean, it's only 5 years old for today.
I have never used the lane assist.
It was annoying. It really just kind of ping-ponged you off the two end lanes.
Yeah.
So it's not meant to be hands-free. It's meant for if you're not really paying attention or whatever.
Is that the same as cruise control?
It's
I
an
use
added
cruise
feature.
control. Okay.
There's cruise control, there's adaptive cruise control, and then there's like adaptive cruise control with lane assist.
Okay, I only use the cruise
control, as a lot of viewers know, it's
Yeah.
just you set your speed to 80 or 70 or whatever, and it cruises down that speed.
Yeah,
And then
but it also like adjusts yourself.
Adaptive cruise
Oh, yes.
control
That's
is
what I
where you
meant.
have
That's what I
radars
meant.
on the front of your car, and as you're flying up behind somebody else, it adapts your speed to theirs, so you don't plow into the back of them, or so you're not constantly turning off your cruise, accelerating, turning on your cruise, turning off your cruise, turning on your cruise. It can be kind of annoying. So
yeah.
adaptive cruise control is amazing.
Yes.
And your car had that, and that was really nice.
I loved it. That was my very first car with adaptive cruise, and I freaking love it.
Lane assist has changed over the years, but lane assist used to be, my truck has lane assist and I hate it. It just kind of ping pongs you off of the two ends of the lane. So it doesn't actually keep you in the middle of the lane. You just kind of drift to one side and you bump, and then you'll fade over to the other side and you'll bump. It's like bumper bowling down the highway. But you're not supposed to be hands off. You're supposed to be paying attention, driving, keeping control, and it just is a backup in case you're not quite paying attention, and it keeps you from running off your lane.
Okay.
Modern, like newer cars, and I don't, the 2020 is not old, but newer cars, like new cars from me test driving for work,
yeah,
or rental cars, I should say, not test driving. They actually, like, some of them will keep you in your lane. I just had a Subaru Outback, and I had to hold the steering wheel, but that thing kept me dead nuts middle of the lane the whole drive that I was going, and that was pretty impressive. And I know they're not the only ones. There's a lot of cars that do that now. Mm-hmm. So this car has those other features of FSD, because you're I shouldn't say FSD, but autopilot. Because if you go all the way down to your lowest setting for autopilot, it's just adaptive cruise control.
Yeah.
We've never tried it, but I know that's what it is.
Yeah.
The next level up is the auto steer or something like that.
Steer,
and it's adaptive cruise control, but it keeps you in your lane.
We did try that one time.
We tried that one time.
It was awful.
And it was so annoying.
Why would anybody want to use that feature?
I think it's the fact that my expectations for it was different than what it's for. So we had used FSD for so long. I just love FSD, and I like driving, but FSD is just cool. Mm-hmm. And
I don't like driving.
We'd gotten used to FSD, and when you go from FSD down to auto steer, it's weird because you want to let go of the steering wheel. Because in FSD, you don't got to touch nothing. You sit there, you're hanging out, you're eating, whatever. Whereas in auto steer, I didn't read the manual, but I think you're supposed to keep your hands on the wheel because of the fact that in FSD, as long as you're looking out the windshield and paying attention, you can drive for hours.
What's the point, though, if you're having your hand on a steering wheel?
The point is kind of what I mentioned before. Does
it just move it for you?
It auto steers like FSD. I mean, it doesn't exit off the highway and go all that stuff.
Right.
But it wants you holding the wheel, paying attention, just in case something's not right. Then you can take over quicker. There's the reaction speed where if your hands are on the steering wheel, it's faster. So for us, we did it one time just to try it out, and I found it annoying because I wanted to keep letting go of the steering wheel, and every 30 seconds it was yelling at me to grab the steering wheel, and that is not what I expected. And
just a tip, if you do switch over to auto steer, you cannot go back to FSD without parking your car. So if you're on the freeway, do you remember that?
I do.
We try to switch back to FSD.
You can turn it off while driving, but you can't go up.
Correct.
So you can go from FSD to auto steer, but you can't go from auto steer to FSD without parking.
Yes.
Which was annoying.
And we regretted that decision on the highway immediately.
Yeah. Live and learn. Got to try out the new features of the new car. But if I were to go over some of the pros of the car, it's a good price. It is very comfortable. The double pane glass all around, it makes it so quiet, which is very comfortable and nice. The heated and ventilated seats in the front, awesome. We're just getting into fall, so I haven't had to use the heated seats yet, but I use the ventilated seats like every day all summer. I
used it.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yes, very nice.
The rear seats being heated is going to be super nice for as winter starts coming around here. It's got great storage space. We have 2 kids, and between the front and the trunk, we have yet to run into storage space issues. Even we've done some road trips with it, and it works out. We've packed it pretty full, but we haven't hit a limit yet. Now, it's not like you're going to go buy a big couch or something like that with this. But if you're,
you're not supposed to?
Come on. But if you're just packing for a day trip or something like that, or even a weekend, it's been fine for us so far. Mm-hmm. All of those are big pluses. The rear screen, our daughter loves, so that's handy on road trips. Kids can sit back there and watch something, entertain themselves.
Yes, she's obsessed.
those are all of the big pros. I'm curious to see as winter comes how our battery's affected, because I've heard it's pretty negatively affected. We live in Wisconsin, so it gets pretty nasty cold in January. So we'll find out the true depth of how bad the battery's affected.
Yeah.
And I'm curious with snow and the all-wheel drive. But if we were to go through some negatives, and I don't have too many, but for me, it's such a small, stupid thing, but it annoys me to no end, is I feel like the trunk cover, that like tri or quad fold trunk cover,
and cheap.
it's just annoying. It is so annoying. I don't know why it couldn't have been what millions of wagons or SUVs have done, where it's a cloth. You have a base frame against the back seats, and you pull the cloth out and it hooks. That works great.
I love the one on my BMW.
Yeah, her BMW had it. I've had many other vehicles that have had it, and that works so nice. Whereas this thing's got this hard plastic tri-quad fold. I can't remember if it's 3 or 4. I think
it's 3.
It's 3, and it's just stupid. It
you
doesn't fold up well.
Do it correctly.
When I've done it so much.
You don't know how to do it, but I can do it one-handed just fine.
She's the one-handed origami master.
Lift it up to the shelf.
The number of times I've done that, and then it like flops back and hits. It's
you.
Okay.
Yeah, but
it's my pet peeve. I hate it.
It is quite flimsy, and I don't like the quality of it. It feels very cheap. Because I came from a BMW, so I wouldn't know any better.
Little your bougie showing. But
just a little bit.
What's your number one pet peeve? Because you have a hate for the car. It's a small one again. It's not a big problem.
Something that I've not heard from anyone else mentioning, but the oh shit handle, it doesn't have the oh shit handle. And sometimes I want to hold that handle to get in or get out, especially when I was like 9 months pregnant.
So just 2 months ago, she had a baby.
Yeah. So it was quite hard to get out of the car. So I have to put my seat up a little bit higher just so I could get out and get in. But I find that the oh shit handle could be very useful, and I understand like Tesla wants the whole sleek and clean look. That's why they don't put it in there. But
it's functional. It'd be functional. Pregnant ladies, people with physical injuries, elderly. There's lots of, maybe you're young and healthy, but you're sore. There's lots of reasons why those handles are nice, and it doesn't have it on either side. What
I find myself doing is I reach my hand up to the roof of the car when I open the door and use that to help me up. But other than that, the other thing that I do not like is powered frunk. Obviously, that's like a well-known.
The lack of power frunk.
Yeah. It's well known throughout the Tesla community that the power frunk would be very functional, because I would use the crap out of it, putting my backpack in there, grocery. I love putting grocery in the frunk because it confuses people. Every time I go grocery shop and I put it in the frunk, people stare at me like, what are you doing? Are you crazy? Yeah, I think those are my two biggest ones.
Yeah, not having a powered frunk from the factory. So like the Cybertruck has a powered frunk, which is really nice. And I believe they're the only Tesla in production that has a powered frunk from the factory. I think. I don't think the S has it. I don't think the X has it. I think only the Cybertruck has the powered frunk.
Only the Cybertruck, yes.
But they sell aftermarket kits that you can do. It affects your warranty and buyback and stuff like that. But it is a feature you can add to where you can have a powered frunk, which would be nice as long as you don't mind putzing with your warranty or with your maintenance and things.
Also light. I would love to have lighting in the frunk.
Yeah. So supposedly, I actually just read today that the Model Y Juniper in China actually has lights in the trunk from the factory. So it's weird that they got it, but we didn't. And I know they got the YL and we didn't, but we will eventually. But it's interesting that launched the same time. They got a light, a lighted frunk, and we didn't. So that's.
I did ask about that at the dealership, if it was like, will it
affect the warranty?
Will it affect the warranty? And they said yes. So I was going to go aftermarket and do it myself, even with the power frunk. But I guess I'll just wait until we get a new Tesla.
Yeah. I love this car, but I really wanted a third row, and the X is just too expensive. Like, I don't want to live for my car payment. So as much as, and I love those doors, it'd be so handy putting kids in the back seat while the gull-wing doors are protecting you from rain or whatever. Not just rain, the fact that the door gets out of your way because it goes up. You have so much access to the rear seats for getting children in. The Model X is just awesome.
Yes.
But it's like twice the money for the doors and an optional third row. So it's significant. It's not little.
Ooh, I just remember another thing that I do not like in this car. The lumbar support.
On the passenger side.
On the passenger side.
So the driver's seat has adjustable lumbar support that's comfortable.
But for the passenger side, there isn't one, and I wish there was one. I mean, the seats are quite comfortable, But there are times where you do need that extra support, and I wish it had that.
Yeah. There's other little things too when we talk about what we like, what we don't like. I mean, what we like is a very long list. Yes. But there's like a small thing would be your phone's connectivity to the car. So when you come from different cars that have Apple CarPlay, the calling is fine. If I don't know, our generation doesn't call a lot. We text. Yeah. But when you use the voice command on the steering wheel to call, the Tesla's fine. But when it comes to texting, it's a little weird. I like the fact that it dictates it on the screen so you can read it if you're parked for safety, whereas Apple CarPlay doesn't do that or Android Play. But there's no history. Yes. So one of the things that's annoying is that if I want to text somebody, I have to use the voice command, which is fine. But even to find them, otherwise you're going through your panel trying to find your contacts. But then if you have like, I don't know how to text, and maybe it's me being ignorant, I don't know how to text group chats on the car without using my phone. Yeah. Because we have a group chat with my parents and they watch my kids twice a week. And when I let them know I'm on the way, I have to do it from my phone or text just one of my parents. I can't send a text to my wife, my mom, and my dad like I do on my phone because we have a group chat. I don't know how to do that through the car's system. That
is one feature that I do miss about my BMW.
With the Apple CarPlay.
Yeah, the Apple CarPlay is phenomenal. And I don't know why Tesla couldn't just figure out the whole keeping history of messages.
They have to be different.
Is it really that hard?
Right.
But yeah, I think those are my top three. The oh shit handle, frunk, a power frunk, and oh no, I have four.
What's the other one?
I forgot the lumbar support. And then not having the Apple CarPlay, so that's four of them.
Well, you can tell that none of those are like big problems.
It's not.
We both thought that range was going to be a much bigger concern before we bought the car.
One.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was my number one, and that's why I said, hell no, we're not getting this.
She was very against getting a Tesla.
Yes.
And she wanted, the reason we sold the vehicles, we were looking for a larger vehicle. And actually, the Tesla Model Y Juniper is classified as a mid-size SUV. It doesn't look like it, but that's its classification. The BMW X3 we had is classified as a compact SUV. So apples to apples, the Model Y is a little more comparable to the X5, the BMW X5, size-wise. Yeah. This is a little longer, this is a little wider, there's more storage space. So the Y is a hair bigger. And we tested it out because we couldn't get our stroller in the long way on the X3, the BMW X3. We could on the X5, and we can on the Model Y. It fits in the long way. I don't have to play weird games of Tetris. So it is a little longer, a little wider. It has what we need. But you wanted an X5, an X7.
I want an X7. Yeah. I want the big one.
Yeah.
A big B. That's the one I wanted. And I was dead set on that day we're going to go and pick that X7 up. And then he scheduled this test drive
secretly.
Yes, with Tesla, and I said, hell no, I'm not doing that.
I don't want an electric car.
I want an electric car. I have range anxiety.
This is our first.
Really bad because I'm not quite sure how it's going to work. But I'm like, okay, let's go. And then the second I sat in the car, the second we play FSD, well, not play, but the second we start using FSD, I fell in love with it. And I love how clean the car is in the white on white.
Right?
Yeah. It's simple and clean. That's what I love.
Yeah. It made a big jump. I remember we were 5 or 10 minutes, I think it was 5 minutes into our test drive. Yeah. And she goes, I want this car. I want it now. And lo and behold, we got one. We tried holding out because I wanted the third row. So the YL, which they rumored for like a year. I wanted so bad.
You held off for a long time.
I held off for months.
You, yeah.
We sold her car and had, well, you had no car, but I had two cars. For 2 months. And then finally, she was getting more and more pregnant. So we couldn't wait anymore. So we just pulled the trigger, got it. We love it. And now that the YL is going to be a year or more out for America, I think I made the right decision. But that's why we didn't buy the $8,000 FSD because of that reason. Because I don't expect to keep this car forever. I expect in 2 to 3 years, hopefully we get a third row affordable option, which I'm guessing will be the YL.
I'm happy with this. I don't need a third row.
I think we need a third row, but not for more kids, for other people. But
what other people?
Hey, think about it this way. It's like 9 inches longer in the wheelbase, so that's more storage space.
Yeah, but that's just more people we want to carry. And
grandparents and stuff. It'll be handy. Trust me, it'll be handy. What? Who?
Just kidding. But yeah. I honestly do love this car. Every time I sit in the car, I have a big smile on my face.
It's comfortable. It's easy. We make a lot of trips that are about, you work from home.
Yes.
And so she doesn't drive very much at all. I have an 8-minute commute to work. So my commute is like nothing.
Life is rough.
Yeah, life is rough. So we don't put too many miles on, but on weekends we'll take 60 minute trips south. And it's a lot of highway and then into the city of Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And so we get some big city driving. We get a lot of highway driving. We do FSD the whole way. It's been working perfectly so far. My only criticism of FSD, I mean, we don't have version 14 yet. We still are on 13.
Wait.
And I think 13 is wonderful. It's amazing.
I'm
having a hard time imagining how much better 14 is going to be.
Yeah.
But I know when it gets to destinations for parking, that's one of the things I'm looking for. My only criticism so far of version 13, and it's minor, is I don't know, it doesn't always see turn-only lanes. And that's been my only repeated criticism of it. Because, sometimes it does something a little weird, and you take over, and I give it the correction. And over time, I see it correct itself. Now, people argue about local learning versus feedback to Tesla. I don't know how it all works, but I'll tell you that I have corrected it enough times that it no longer does the things I've told it not to do. So for me and for her, it has corrected its behavior over time. Not after one try, but over time. Now, the only thing that it doesn't, in the locations I've corrected it at, it doesn't do it anymore. But it used to try to go straight through a turn-only lane. So if you're in a single lane and then it branches into 3 and it's like straight, right, and left turn only, I've had it go in the right lane and want to go straight through the intersection. Yeah. I've had it do it more than one time. And I've had it do it in different cities. And I've corrected it. And I have told it, I've disengaged FSD and I've told it what it did wrong. And sometimes I'd keep an eye on it and do it a couple more times. But it no longer does it. So the routes that I drive around town, it sometimes gets in that right lane, but then it changes lanes into the correct lane and it goes through the intersection correctly.
Yeah. My theory on that is that if it sees the arrow, then it does move over. But if there's it's congested traffic,
right. If it's too far ahead,
or if it's blocked, doesn't see it, then it doesn't pick up on that.
That's something where it's going to need map data versus visual stuff. And I don't know what percentage of what it does for its navigation system for FSD. Because obviously I know a lot of it is done by vision systems, because I've actually used FSD to get out of parking lots, which are private property, which aren't even on the map.
Yep.
And it gets me out of the parking lot on the main roads, which is amazing. It stops when I use it at work to leave work. It actually stops at the gate. So it'll drive out of the parking lot, which from where I park is a good distance, with no map, on FSD, gets to the gate, stops on FSD by itself. Gate opens up and then it goes out and it gets onto public roads where it can use its navigation. So it does a hybrid of vision and maps. But when those turn-only lanes, when it's painted on the ground and the vision system doesn't see it because there's cars over it, it's going to need some navigation support.
From what I've seen, if there's no car, over it, and it does pick it up, it shows it on the screen and it moves over.
Right. I wanted to kind of give a couple-month review. We've had it about 4 months.
Yeah.
In a nutshell, which we said in the beginning of the video, I know we've talked about the negatives a lot, but that's because we're just trying to pick out the few things we don't like about it. But overall, this is just the best car we've ever had.
Yes.
I love the fact that I don't have to get gas. There's so many mornings where I'm like, oh, I need to get gas before I go to work. That's not a thing anymore, because I drive this 90% of the time, and it's always full. We charge it at home. We do have a level 3 or 2 charger. We have the top charger at home. I forgot level 3 charger at home. And we don't need it for our short commute, but we got it just in case.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
Especially if you have to go long distance, for example, Michigan.
Right.
Or Minnesota.
You can charge you 100% at home. You're ready for your long job. We can go through 70-80% of the battery in a day if we're doing a far drive, but yet we come home that night, it's still full the next day. Where it doesn't. We started for the first couple of weeks with the regular wall charger with the 110,
and it
not the
works
220.
fine.
It works fine. If for our day-to-day commute, that wall charger charged our car to 100% or 80% every night. It was when we do a further drive. We do a 60-mile one-way, 60-mile back. We spent 120 miles. And then the next day, you really couldn't do that again if you wanted to do it back to back. And then it might take 3 or 4 days for it to slowly get back up to 80%. Now, 3 to 4 days because I'm also leaving during the day. So the next day I drive it to work, and then it would sit in the parking lot at work, and I'd unplug in and I'd drive it home. So because of those idle periods, it could keep up with my daily schedule in summer. but it would take days to get back to 80%. Whereas with this thing, no matter how much we drive, every morning it's full. It's at 80%.
I love that feature of it. And daily, I'd say we use about 4%.
We don't use very much.
Yeah, we don't drive very much. I don't drive at all.
And we talked about that range anxiety. We were so paranoid that every time we left town, that the electric car would be a problem, and that was one of our nerves. Like we did the 9-hour one-way trip on our 4th day of owning the car, and we just had faith. I talked to some coworkers who had done some pretty far drives, and they said, "Stop worrying about it; it's great." And based off of their feedback and faith, we just did it. We just went on a 9-hour one-way drive, and it was awesome. It wouldn't have been any faster with a gas car. Self-drive the whole way there through construction, traffic.
We stopped mostly for me, not for the car.
She was 7 months pregnant at the time,
8.
so we had to stop to use restrooms quite often.
Yeah, so by the time we, stop the car, charge the car, go use the restroom, come back to the car, it's already full before we even reach the bathroom.
In the 9-hour one-way trip, we only charged once, so we stopped for the bathroom 800 times.
Oh, yeah.
But on the 9-hour drive, we stopped to charge once, and it's all built into the navigation, and it took us to some grocery store place that I don't recall what it was, Myers maybe?
Yeah,
and we pulled in. I forgot what level charger it was. I want to say it was a level 3, but I don't really remember. And we pulled in and plugged it in. It said a 10 or 12-minute charge, but we got out, changed our daughter's diaper, went and used the restroom inside ourselves, came back out, and it was boom, it was already done. So we got in the car and left. So if it charged faster, we wouldn't have been ready any faster.
Not me.
And we finished our drive, and then the same thing on the ride home. It was a 9-hour drive back through rain, through fog, through construction, through Chicago, through crazy traffic, nighttime driving, at rural driving at night. So there's not like street lights or anything like that. And it did no problem. And we charged once on the way back. Same thing. It was a really quick 10, 12-minute charge, went to the restroom.
Yeah.
And going along with that is cost. I have a whole separate video on the cost to charge, but we are paying like $12, $13 to charge this thing from dead to full, whereas my truck's like $100. And
yeah, my Beamer was like 60 to 70.
Yeah, depending on, I think it was like 80.
Well, depending on the gas price at the time.
But it's way cheaper, especially for daily driving and charging at home. Supercharging costs more, and that's all in my other video. But for daily charging at home, it is so much cheaper, which is nice.
Oh, yeah. I love that it's always full every time I wake up.
We don't have to worry about oil changes, which is great. I know electric vehicles go through tires quicker, so we'll see. I also wonder about how much of that is just people driving, because obviously they have all that torque, so you're going to burn through tires, giving it a lot of throttle, a lot of acceleration.
Interesting, yeah.
But with FSD, if you do 40,000 FSD miles, I don't know. I guess we're going to find out because we only really FSD.
Another thing I love about this car is the climate control, where you can set it up to be the perfect climate that you want, the degree. You go in the car. And I love that it texts you that the cabin is at its, temperature?
Yeah, cabin's reached desired climate or temperature.
I love that. So I'm looking forward to winter.
Yeah.
And having that feature and see how that goes, especially when we have to take kids to daycare.
You can do it with the garage door closed. With a gas car, you got to open the garage door and let your car warm up so the carbon monoxide gets out of the garage.
I didn't like that with the Beamer, where I always have, especially when it's blizzard outside and I have to open the garage, start my car, and come outside to start my car. I didn't have a remote start with my BMW.
1 year
Sadly,
off,
I know.
We had 20 and it came out in 21. That's what they told us.
Yes. So I'm very happy. Can't complain about this car.
Yeah. So you have the garage door shut, you can set your schedule, or you can manually turn it on. We haven't, like I said, we're just getting into fall, so we haven't gone through winter with it yet to see how it heats up. I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah. But in summer, even though we're in Wisconsin, we have 90-degree days. We've had days where I look at the app when we're like leaving the fair or leaving something, and it's like 106 degrees in the cabin. So it's been nice that we can turn on the air from the app while you walk up to the car, and it's back to 70, 73 degrees by the time you get there.
And our dog loves it because he puts his face right at the vent where all the airs are blowing in his face. Cold air.
Ghost is a fan. He's a fan.
He's amazing.
It's a wonderful car. We probably can't say enough about it. It's made me want an electric vehicle as well. I thought when we first got it, and even when we were talking about getting it, we're like, we'll have one electric car, we'll have one gas car. And it doesn't worry me anymore. And like, yes, there's the concern that if the grid goes down for days, And if we lived in a more storm-ridden area, I'd be more concerned.
Nothing happens in Wisconsin.
Right, yeah, we get blizzards, but even where we specifically live, we don't really get blizzards.
No.
So the power outages in my almost 40 years of life have always been in hours, not days. We've never had days of no power.
Yeah.
So
yeah, just like an hour, maybe 15 minutes.
yeah, it's really short. So if I lived in a different area, especially if I lived where you get hurricanes and things, I understand the concern for having an electric and a gas car, because you might get stuck trying to leave or whatever, and congestion with everyone using the chargers.
Yeah.
But where we live, it works out great.
Yeah, nobody really goes through the charger.
I'd love to, when I can afford it, sell my pickup truck. And even though personally I hate the way the Cybertruck looks, I want FSD, I want a Tesla truck, and that's the only option. And I've driven it, and it was awesome. It drives cool. It's a fun car. I have that in another video. But this car has made me want to get an electric truck.
Yeah, it makes me want you to have an electric truck.
I know. Comfortable and whatever.
Yeah, I do like how comfortable the Cybertruck is too.
Yeah. Leave a comment down below if you want to see more parenting videos. How do our kids work with the car? How do strollers and car seats and everything like that? Leave a comment. Let us know what you specifically want to see and think. We'll tell you. Thanks.
Don't forget to like
And subscribe.